I'm Steve, you're watching Gear Stuff and Things, and today on the channel we're going to get into creating a nice doomy patch inside of Helix. So let's go ahead and head into the computer and I'll walk you through how I made it, and we can talk a little bit about the patch and where it came from. So stick around. Alright, so a little while ago I released a video talking about my top 5 Helix amps, and one of them was the Line6 Doom, and I had a few people ask me about the tone and what I did to create it, any specific settings, so on and so forth. So I figure we may as well get into that. So I'm going to jump into the computer here and let's talk about it. So let's talk about the tone itself. Let me turn the volume on my guitar down here, and yeah, we'll just jump into it. So it's built around, of course, the Line6 Doom. What I have going on here is the drive at 5, the bass at 4.0. I roll it off a bit because something like this can get pretty muddy, which is pretty typical of doomy stuff. I also have the mids 6.5, treble 7.5, presence at 5. I believe that's where it was set by default. Master, I changed a little bit. I dropped it down a tiny bit. And the sag I increased a bit because I wanted it to have some of that kind of natural bloom effect happening when you're hitting the notes pretty hard. And everything else was, for the most part, default. I did up this from 5 to 6.5. And that's the amp. And the cab I am using is the 4x12 Kali V30. And I'm using the dual cabs here in Line6 Helix. And basically what I've done here is taken the same cab and put it on twice. And what I'm doing here is just trying to simulate having 2 separate microphones on the same cab. So in order to do that, I've got one cab set up with an SM7B, about 1 inch from the speaker. I have the high cut rolled off. I'm just kind of letting it fly there. The low is 80 hertz rolled off. On the next one, it is the 121 ribbon mic. It's a nice sounding mic. It's got a little bit of life to it. In my opinion, it has a nice character. I've got that a bit off of the cabinet, so we have that at 3.0. My low cut on this one is still at 80. I do have a high cut on this second mic, cutting out the 15. So cutting out some of that snarly hiss stuff that we got going on here. And before we get into this EQ thing here, I will turn that off, and I'm going to turn this off. And I will let you know ahead of time, this is just a basic compressor. I am using the LA Studio comp. It is, as you see it here, 7.8 on the peak reduction, 6.2 on the gain. I have it set to compress. Emphasis 0.9, mix 100%, level 0. I'm not adding any volume, just compressing the signal. So from there, I'm going into the amp and the cab. I obviously have a distortion there, but I want you to hear it as it is before I add that into the circuit. So let's go ahead and check out the tone now. Already pretty doomy, doesn't need a whole lot of work. It's a simple trick to achieve this because it's just a Doom patch that sounds like a Doom patch. So that's that, and what I've done is add the kinky boost to the top of it. And I have just a tiny bit of drive there, so 3.1. I do have the boost on. I do have the bright in because I'm trying to bring back some detail that gets lost in the mud of things. So let's hear what it sounds like with the drive. So that's that. Now let's bring in my EQ, and then I'll talk to you about what I've done with it. For the EQ. I've dropped some of the 80 hertz out. Obviously, we're cutting that already, so it's not too important here. It just kind of is doubling down on some things. But you don't necessarily need to do that. I am going to make this patch available for free download, so if you're interested in that, there'll be a link in the description where you can get this specific tone without having to do all this work. And then you can tweak it to your taste. So 80 hertz, cut back a little bit, 3 decibels. There's not a lot of it going on because obviously we cut it out here in the cab. 240, I brought that back a little. I find that that's a little bit boxy sounding. And when you're using a tone like this, it's already kind of got some of that going on. So you really want to take that out. So I took out 2.5 decibels of that. The 750 hertz, I added 3 decibels. 2200, added 2. The 6600, I added 1.7. You can do somewhere between 1.0 to 1.5, but 1.7 is kind of where it settled with the mouse, and I just left it alone. Not adding any additional volume here, just the tone as is. So let's go ahead and hear it one more time. Okay, and that is the tone. So, quick and easy way to get a great sludgy Doom tone, use the Doom amp inside of Line 6 Helix or HX Stomp or Native or any version of it that you have. It's very easy to get really right where you want to be for these types of tones. So, again, I'm going to make this available to you. Link will be in the description. And before we get out of here, let's hear what the tone sounds like in the context of a doomy little mix. And after that, I'm just going to sign right off. So thank you so much for watching. We're going to let the video go out with the performance and the little sample playthrough here. And until next time, it's been me, it's been you. This is Gear Stuff and Things. This is Steve. You can't see my face. It's probably a benefit to you at this point. So if you enjoyed the video and you enjoy the tone, feel free to snag it. If you haven't snagged my other 2 Helix preset packs, snag those. They are free. There's 17 presets total. The first one is 7. The second preset pack has 10. Super versatile stuff, covering a lot of genres. Yeah, feel free to take it and do with it what you will.